All right, it's 9:30. Let's get going. If I could do a little sound check, I think there's a couple of people here now. If you could let me know that you hear me, that would be awesome. Interesting week in the markets.
All right, it's 9:30.
Oh, shoot.
Let's get going.
Sorry, everybody. Let me fix one thing real quick. I don't know why that started playing back at me. All right, I think we're back and ready to go. Can everybody still hear me? Okay, awesome. Okay, now that Matt's here, there's all kinds of pressure on me. I feel like to get in the chat and be like, no, dude, you're totally wrong. Just for fun, though. Cool, let's run through this real quick. I want to try and go as fast as I can. If you have questions, by all means, throw them in the chat, and I will get to them as soon as I possibly can, okay? S&P, we've talked about this several times in the video over the last week. Just as a run through, I don't set levels on this or anything, but this level 1812 1812 and the 200. Okay, we had decent support there. This starts to feel like it's in a range, right? We've talked about this a bunch. Instead of a huge Titanic downturn, it is probably in some kind of consolidation before it decides to make a move somewhere. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary here, but this is structure now for absolutely sure. Okay, 1812 is like do not pass if you want the S&P to go up. So we'll keep an eye on that. But what it's done is, and I mentioned this a lot yesterday in the ECB when we were in the ECB news and talking about stuff. I was talking about risk on, okay, and this is giving us a little bit of a risk on look now, in terms of it broke that top that I said we needed to break, or that top of the wick on the daily bar, and is now making its way up. And I posted a chart this morning. It's not unreasonable to think that risk is going to pull back up. You know, the S&P is going to pull back up to 1940, okay, 1980, somewhere in, you know, you get a 786, you get this old level at right around 20, okay, or 2000. It's not an unreasonable thing to think that that's where it's going to bounce. All right. And if we are truly in a range, it can go all the way back up to 2130 and take out some of the liquidities up here. So it's starting to feel a little bit like risk on again, at least in the very immediate term. Okay, DXY, we're still looking at this formation. It's broken it, it's supported, okay, or it's sold off again, it's supported, and now it's buying back up into 99.40 area. All right, unless this breaks down, it's still dollar positive. It's still dollars on the move, right? How it acts up towards that 100.2 or 100.4 again, that'll be a different question. But as of right now, we're still looking at euro negative, dollar positive, and some other dollar follow through. Sort of risk. You know, this isn't following the risk on idea very well, because of the correlation with euro in the DXY and how euro's behaving in the risk on, or the risk on risk off scenarios. So it's kind of it's kind of, the correlations are kind of jacked up right now, right? And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, but that's DXY. Oil's having the pop that we talked about for several days. 32.80 was what I was looking at. Okay, that's the real breakdown. If you go back to, let's just go to a monthly chart real quick. If you go back to 2009, okay, 2008, 2009, 32.80 is the real breakdown. So a break below and then a retest and sort of work its way back up to that level is not anything out of the question. It's not out of the ordinary at all. It'll just all depend on how it acts there. Is it going to go back up into, above 32.80 and get supported, or are we going to find some sellers there and work its way back down into this 25 to 29 range? So, who knows, right? Let's just jump over to the pairs real quick. Like I said, I want to make this as quick as possible. Euro had this amazing move yesterday. On ECB's going to die, kind of, Draghi's going to, like go negative interest rates and give all their money away or something, and bought back up into the 200, and then this flat 200, there's still not a lot we could do. So if we look at the week, okay, if we look at, I don't have my lines drawn on here. So right in this area was the start of the week. Okay, we didn't miss any FXIT trades on this. We didn't miss any levels. There's nothing on the euro that I look at and go, man, we really could have done that better. It's if you want to try and trade the range and you want to buy extremes on these higher time frame charts or sell extremes on the higher time frame charts, by all means go for it. But there's no levels trades that we missed. Odd. Where did our week start here? Sorry, I should have had all these lines drawn in. Okay, here's our odd. I'm not bummed about this one at all. It worked its way inside of this structure for most of the week and put in these two liquidity tops here. And then yesterday we saw that and were able to stay out of the way of a bigger move up. Okay, and with the way that this looks right now, I would say the 200 average is almost a given at this point. Okay, just a matter of time. So I'm not really in the mood to be selling this right now or putting any new sell orders on it. We could dip lightly on some buy orders if you wanted to get crazy. Okay, you could fib this. We could start looking at possibly a fib here to ride it back up to the 200, maybe catch a 382 or a 618. Anything below the moving averages on this at this point, I don't think is really where we want to be playing with this on the long side. Okay, so if we want to go a 382 with a stop below, it's not a bad idea. Okay, so that could be something we look at for next week. If not, we're just going to figure out how to fib this to the sell side. And I don't see a lot of things that are looking great in terms of structure. I mean, once you get past this point, once you get past the 200 and this wick right here, that's a long. I mean, that's a lot of room, and it's really hard to draw a fib on that. So I don't think we missed anything this week. I think we actually, being able to see the risk oncoming with what Draghi said sort of saved us on some trades in this and some other pairs that you'll see. So I'm not disappointed in that. Look, these are long-term games. They're not day trades. So we're gonna find something. It's just gonna be a matter of time. Okay. Same here with the dollar yen. This was the fib that we had for a couple of days, and I was super uncomfortable trying to sell anything this close to 116 because of that level. Okay. If we look at it on a weekly chart or even a daily chart. That level is I put this up the other day. This is almost exactly the same as an S&P chart, right? This is a mirror of the S&P in terms of risk. Okay, risk on, risk off. Dollar yen is going to act exactly the same as S&P. And so if S&P has that level at 1812 that you shall not pass, then dollar yen's going to have this level, you know, same type of thing. And at 116, that's the do not pass level. And I wish Matt could come on here because he's the dollar yen expert, but and hopefully he agrees with me. But this, to me, with the risk on, the little bit of risk on with Draghi, okay, and with the S&P support and with this support, that's why I couldn't sell this again. So we're gonna wait that one out a little bit, possibly find some buy structure or you know, the same kind of counter trend moves back up to the 200 if we want to do that. If not, we can wait for a trend move on it. We possibly could have to wait for a change of trend though. Matt says, man, screw that thing. Yeah, I know. We hate dollar yen, right? But you're the expert on it. So so next week you'll have to come on with me and we'll talk about the dollar yen. This is an old fib. This is kind of what we were thinking. I hadn't drawn it in, okay? But this, you know, I think it was yesterday in the video I was talking about, we were right in this area. And I said I wanted to see how London did with this, right? I wanted to see what happened coming out of Asia. Actually, let's what do we do here? Yeah, that'll work. On a So this was London, right? I wanted to see what London did with pound dollar because of this move, and I wanted to see if the buyers really came in force with on this to see if it was sellable, okay? To see if we could use a fib and try and catch more trend. But it did exactly what I thought it was going to do, okay? And the London traders came in and bought the mess out of it, right? So right now, too many profiles. So right now, if you remember, my level's at 142.40 on this, or 142.20. Sorry, 142.20. That was the big breakdown, right? That was the big breakdown on the big chart, okay? And it dipped down into this area. I said somewhere in this area we're going to find support. Somewhere in here we're going to get that place that people want to buy pound dollar again, because this is a like macro. I appreciate somebody sent me a chart the other day of pound back in the 80s that was at parity, but other than that, other than the mid 80s, okay, this is as low as pound dollar has been since these two macro lows. Okay, the basically the .com and the great financial crisis, right? So it obviously it was going to find support there, and selling down there just did not appear to be the thing that anybody would want to do. So with that being said, we're back above 42.20. We have our risk on move in London, and saved ourselves from setting this fib and getting stopped out on it. Okay, and now this may be a great play next week to get back to the 200. This may be something that could be a lot of fun on a little bit lower time frames to get back to the 200. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if we can get in on that. As far as this week goes, we didn't miss anything. I don't know if we covered dollar yen. I don't believe we. Let me make sure that I cover all my bases here. Okay, so yeah, we didn't miss anything on dollar yen. Okay, we didn't miss anything. It's a sort of a bottoming, like you know, crappy formation down here. I guess we could have had this sell right here on a 786 back down to 116. I think we talked about that, but you know, like I said, I was so close. I just didn't want to do it. So I don't have any regrets on dollar yen. Pound dollar, I don't have any regrets on this week. I don't think we missed a trade. I think that we played it as good as we could. Yeah, nothing there. Okay, nothing there that even makes me look at it and go, wow, we really screwed up on that one. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, again, risk on sentiment here. We talked about this yesterday. We could have potentially fibbed this, but we would have gotten stopped out. So I'm not worried about that at all. once you get that risk on feeling, you gotta not fight it. And this now looks a little, look, according to what I do, this looks a little bit weaker than the others, and it could close back down and continue down, but it could also move up towards the 200. This one's a little bit more in no man's land than some of the other pairs. So as far as trades this week, I don't think we really missed anything. Okay, all this set up, and then we had the ECB event, and we went risk on, and we chose not to take that trade. So I think we're good. I think we're just fine there. Dollar CAD. Okay, this is the orders we have set right now. It's a huge fib. Okay, this is a lot of room and a lot of it's just a lot of space there. So it may take a little while. But I'm still fairly happy with these. I still think that you're going to get a move back up. Look, again, Titanic's never turn on a dime, right? This is going to go back up. It's going to work back up into this area. So we just want to be able to ride that a little bit when we get the opportunity. This is a full structure fib, so we'll set these orders appropriately. Pound New Zealand. Again, there's nothing that we missed on this one that I look at and wish we would have gotten in on. It's almost a flat 200. It's just moving back and forth around that thing right now, trying to get some momentum to the downside. But every time it does, these huge bars keep happening, right? And they keep buying this thing up pretty aggressively. So in terms of FX IT trades right now, in terms of levels trades, this thing's just stuck, and we haven't put any orders on it, and I don't see any orders coming in the near future. It's gonna have to move one way or the other before we can do that. Pound odd, again, Matt should be doing this one. This one has a little bit more potential for me. Okay, again, odd looks a little bit stronger than New Zealand in terms of against the dollar. So Pound odd actually has a little bit more sell potential right now. This is a huge fib for me on this pair at like hundreds of pips risk. It's not what I really like to see. But if this could open up a little bit more and maybe fractal again and set a new high, and then we get another push, this could set up some interesting trades next week. How are we looking on the dailies? Yeah, I mean, right now it's down on the dailies. Okay, it's moving down. It's also kind of hanging out around a daily 200, which isn't good to see, and that's why we're seeing so much back and forth, I think. But eventually, this one's going to break out again, and we're going to get some good trades on it. But it's sort of in it's just stuck right now. Yeah, so Matt says he wants to take it to the round number of 2-ish, and I think that's, dude, I think you're right on with that. So next week you got to get on and you got to talk pound odd and you got to talk dollar yen. Okay, we're gonna plan on that. So that's what I'm seeing on pound odd. Euro yen, what a piece of crap. Okay, this thing breaks me open, does this awesome move. I have all of this freaking pip profit. Okay, and like a dummy. And Matt can, Matt can, you know, he can scold me later. But I didn't take any of the profit down here. So now I'm sitting on a 20 pip, plus 20 pip break even, and gave all of this back. So not the greatest trade in the world. Hopefully somebody was able to get something out of it. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I may close this off this afternoon and save myself the 60 pips and just keep the pips and go home for the weekend, because I'm really that was frustrating. So I don't know. If I do close it out, I'll let you guys know. If anybody's still in it, I don't know. I was crazy to stay in it through all of this, right? All this mess. I waited all of this very, very patiently. Okay, very, very patiently. Got my money. and gave it all back. So, oh well. On New Zealand, we are going to be looking to buy this, okay? And this right here, if we can get a fractal on this, okay, this is not the Fibble set, but if we can break out, okay, if we can break out at top and set a new fractal, we're going to put buy orders on this next week, okay? It's looking like it has, with odd strength, New Zealand weakness. We're seeing it across the board, okay, in odd dollar, New Zealand dollar, okay, again, in pound New Zealand, pound odd, and now here, I think that this could be a relatively good buy coming up next week once this actually sets up our trade. So, yeah, I think that covers it for the week. I don't think we missed anything here. Okay, I didn't miss anything in Euro Yen. I've just been waiting on that. Pound Otter, we didn't miss anything. Matt says we'd buy up to 2.0 like wildfire, right? Can't see. I gotta move. Oh yeah, man. I see what you're talking about there. That would be sweet. Okay, it's official. You're gonna be on this thing next week. So I don't think we missed anything on odd New Zealand. Maybe a little buy here, depending on. I had a little bit of problem on where I would set this fib. Okay, if I set the fib there, then it's only a 618 and not exactly what I wanted on a trade. If I would have gotten aggressive and set a fib there, I could have fit the 786. So this is the only one that maybe potentially I could have played a little bit better, but it's a gray area. So just not a lot of trades this week, guys. Not a lot of, a lot of back and forth, a lot of end of ranges, a lot of, stuff sort of going into that transition phase. And the problem with it is, okay, and I know you're probably saying, well, that's stupid because, we didn't get all the rain or the trend phase. Well, we didn't, okay? And we missed one trade in here. But some of this stuff with a fib is just impossible, okay? Some of this stuff, we've talked about it over and over again. This is an impossible move to fib, okay? To sell on a pullback unless you're just absolutely aggressive, okay? And it just never fit what we did. So, look, we're gonna make lemons out of lemonade, and we're gonna go find some trades. And we're gonna go do some good stuff. But that's what that's what we're looking at for next week. So, if anybody has any questions, let me know. If I can help in any way. Otherwise, we'll end it there and call it a week. All right. I'll let this thing catch up. All right. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, man, that's right. The course starts next Friday. It's 10 o'clock now, so 1 o'clock. Right now, the course times are set for Fridays, okay, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, which is 3 Eastern. That's not necessarily, that's meant to get as many people in as I possibly can that that are not in the U.S. And then Saturday morning at 7 a.m. my time, 9 a.m. Eastern will be the repeat session, okay? And Matt, I will probably expect to see you on the Friday one because 7 a.m. on Saturday, I don't think is in your playbook. So, yeah, man, I can't believe it's here. I can't believe it's next week. It'll be those 2 sessions. It'll be an hour long, but it will probably be. I can't imagine being able to get everything I need to get in an hour every week. So, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun though. I'm excited. Yeah, I guess there's no questions. And Matt said he might still be up. So yeah, no more questions. I think we're done for the week. Email me over the weekend. Find me on Twitter. Whatever you need, I'm here to answer questions. And we will. Next week's going to be a busy week, so let's get it going. All right, y'all. Have fun today. Have fun this weekend, and thanks for being here.